3, 2, and 1, and we are live. Hello, everyone out there in Facebook land. Thank you for joining us as my buddy Paul Lucido on the left coast and I do a little practice where we like to become comfortable with being uncomfortable, and we use Jay Doran's 30 Days of Thought to make that practice happen. 30 Days of Thought, it's a book that's more than just a book. It's a book actually you read a passage, you write down your thoughts on it. Once you write down your thoughts, you record a video. I have a bunch of videos that I record, most that no one ever sees, that's just sitting here in my phone. Paul and I decided to do an exploration of some of these thoughts and go live on Facebook. So we're going to go right into this. So I'm going to read, Jay's abstract. We're doing bored is the section we chose today. Heed my warning, be present, and embrace life's struggles. Bored. And as always, Paul, we're going to kick it off with you.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that, and thanks for the birthday wish. Happy New Year to everybody. This is our first 30 Days of Thought since 2019. And Andrew, I believe you and I knocked out 22 episodes last year, which wasn't bad, and we did it in less than a year's time, actually. So good job, buddy. Today's word is bored, and naturally, what could we talk about bored or boredom? So we all know the meaning of bored. Naturally, for most of us, being bored means you're just kind of disenchanted, just interested with whatever activity or lack of activity that you might be involved in, or not literally involved in. I don't know how you want to say that. But in the context of what Jay is talking about being bored, it's literally embracing a strength in one's life. I can honestly tell you as a kid, sometimes there's many days I used to spend where I would just stare out the window, and sometimes during that period, a lot of great thoughts manifest and ideas, or just literally where your mind flows adrift and you start to think about things. Boredom actually can manifest a lot of great things. Let's think about Einstein for a minute. I'm going to bring him into this equation. Einstein spent a lot of time doing what's called thought experiments. And when you think about when he would do his thought experiments, a lot of times they said in school he wasn't very attentive. In fact, he didn't do very well in school in a conventional manner. Einstein would tend to stare off in space, and he was busy doing thought experiments. So that boredom with whatever activity he may have been involved in at the time actually allowed him to manifest other ideas. He's engaged in a different way. And through boredom, which where Jay is coming from, kind of gives us a gift. And Jay even goes on further to say that, a lot of our predecessors who've, died, we want to make sure that we are not disparaging them or taking them for granted. The fact that they've been through trials and tribulations has allowed us more time to think about things. And so what I wrote down here, and it's just kind of a spin-off of what Jay said, is out of boredom can allow ideas to manifest. It allows one to think and allows one to feel. So that's the take I got from bored. And now we can open it up and just have some discourse about it.
Yeah. I'm with you. It's like, we have actually this earned boredom. One of the, so what I wrote is born. It's an earned privilege. It's a state where we can actually stop and smell the roses, or like Einstein, do thought experiments. We can appreciate this gift that was given to us by our predecessors, but because back then they had to farm and forage for the food. Like, they didn't have a chance to be bored. There was no bored. You woke up actually, and your family wasn't going to eat if you were just, I'm just going to just chill here and be bored. That just wasn't an option. That wasn't an option. And see, my continued thoughts. they just did work. That's all they did. We have the luxury of being able to be bored, of being able to have that, and we need to acknowledge actually all that has come before us that has allowed us to be bored. And the ability to be bored is a state that means you've come far in this world. Like we're evolved. So bored. I think of bored as in like a state of where you wish you could have something to do, but that's not the case. That's the way how Jay's referring to it. It's a state where you're deciding to have nothing to do, and you're deciding to allow your mind to kind of rest and smell the roses.
Hey, man, I think you said it right there. I mean, you were going, I believe, on the right. You were on the right path. The idea, as you said, it is a privilege in many ways because, there are a lot of people that have idle time in their lives. And I know a lot of people listening to this particular podcast are shakers and movers, right? They don't have a lot of idle time to be bored. They're just always putting things into action. They're maintaining momentum. They're, breaking new ground. They're always moving. If you remember, we did several episodes back where we talked about being sleep deprived. I think it was called Exhaustion 101. And the idea there was to, embrace being exhausted, embrace the reprieve of what sleep brings to you. Well, sometimes boredom brings reprieve too. Boredom, as you said, it is kind of a privilege. I love your analogy about those that are predecessors who had to just, toil the land. And, work very hard, get up. They had a routine every day. There probably wasn't a lot of time for them to really think about life or think about, their future. They were just trying to put food on the table. Whereas the modern day philosophers out there, have time to think about things. And thank God for philosophers and people trying to come up with different ideologies. Because it helps us evolve a little bit. You do need time to think. You do need time to manifest and have clear decision and ideas. And to me, I think so. As you so well said, boredom to me, or having the opportunity to be bored, is really kind of a privilege. Because, like I said, a lot of people don't really have time to be bored. They really don't. On
a daily basis, do you have time where you just sit there and just be there with your thoughts and allow yourself to just be bored?
Okay, I'm going to answer that question. At work here at PRMG, I don't have a lot of time to be idle per se.
Yeah.
There are moments, and we've talked about before, where I might take 30 seconds pardon me, and look out my window just to kind of, clear my head. I might get up and go grab a cup of coffee to regroup before I hit my next project or check my next, pile of emails, whatever it might be. But that to me is just me kind of playing off distraction. Sometimes distraction is good. You want to divert once in a while and then get back to something, and you look at it with a fresh set of eyes. I've talked about this before, but I don't think that would be classified as being bored. At home, sometimes, I don't mind admitting this, I'm like a dog who's trying to find his spot to lay down. You ever watch a dog will go in circles 3-4 times, and then finally it settles down in its dog bed? Sometimes, if my wife, I make a joke, if I was to have a video camera at my house, you'd see me pacing through the house nervously, looking, always just can't settle down. It's very difficult for me lately to settle down, but I do find those times. I do carve out a moment. I do like to sit and read, but I like to be in a certain environment when I do that. And sometimes when I put myself in that moment, it will allow me to embrace the moment, and it will also allow me to think about other things. Other thoughts start to drift in, some thoughts drift out. So I think there's a place for being bored. I actually think it's a healthy thing. It's not an unhealthy thing. I think that it's just part of the human biological process or neurological process. So those are my thoughts, just loosely. But yeah, man, I have my moments where I'm bored, or perhaps even driving in the car.
Yeah.
With your mind adrift. I always say the reptilian brain takes over and the mammalian brain starts to process things, right? So kind of interesting.
Fantastic. Wonderful. All right, listen. Would you like to pick the next topic? If you have a copy.
Sure, I've got the book. There it is, 30 Days of Thought. Andrew and I are back on the bandwagon, Jay Doran. And hats off to Jay. Jay, I know, started a book club recently, and I know Jay has got a stack of books. I want you to know, for my birthday and even for Christmas, I got a stack of books too there, Jay. I've got more than I can chew right now, and I got to figure out how to go through each one of these, get the best I can get out of it, and then hopefully I'll do some book reviews to share with all of you guys. That being said,
we got Nick Robinson calling you the rock star that you are.
So let's try this, and I know that Jay has been doing a few of these too. How about this one? Reflect and release. Does that sound good?
Oh, yes. I like
Reflect and release, page 228. And let me just take a peek at something. Here's the abstract, as you like to call it. The abstract is, with comprehension comes knowing, and to know is to release. Reflect and Release by Jay Doran. That will be our next 30 Days of Thought episode. That being said, buddy, how you been?
Fantastic. New year, we're now part of the AmBiz network at
congratulations,
Professional, and it's great. It's great,
Do I hear applause in the background? Yeah, I was going to tell you, congratulations. I know that Vince Valvo, you guys have all joined forces along with Joel Berman, your dad. Congratulations on that. And we're looking forward to 2020. I know that 2020 fits Christine Beckwith's paradigm. She's got 2020 vision, which, man, she's right where she needs to be now. Yeah. So, you'll be hearing more from Andrew and I, and each of us independently. We're going to start to get back in the groove. We've been doing a lot of retooling here at PRMG. We just came off the heels of an absolute stellar year. This was a historical year for PRMG. 8.3 billion and change. We did pretty good. Not bad for the little engine, and the little engine is no longer a little engine. Still got the soul, but we're a prime mover, man. We're really blazing the rails now, like a modern day express train. And you're going to start seeing more tech stack from us. You're going to see a lot of great things emerging phenomena.
Yep.
PRMG over the next few months. So be on the lookout.
Fantastic. Listen, I love what you guys are doing there. It's fun. So not to mention, actually, you did get the most votes for top employers. I can't not mention that, which is a phenomenal thing. But like I told you, I know plenty of people actually that work at PRMG, and I know actually how much people love working at PRMG. And it's just part of the kind of the what you guys have done there, creating this great corporate culture, something that has been just methodically. I don't want to say thought out because it seems like it's calculated, but it just happens in this organic way when you get a bunch of really good people together. And I love seeing what you guys are doing there. And I can't wait till we have the first $1 billion month.
Yeah, we're right there. I mean, October was the close one, 984. We just skimmed $1 billion, but I think it's going to happen. We have quite a lofty goal set for 2020. I need to say 2020. And very excited. And yes, you're right, Andrew. It is an organic growth over time. It's through, I always say, the behaviors and actions of our entire team of people has led us to where we are today. You have to take everybody in account, and those behaviors have led to where we are now. So very proud to be part of this company. Very proud to be part of what you and I have been doing, and to be tied in with many of the great people that are out there in the mortgage industry. There's a lot of great people out there. There's a lot of interesting content, and we're digging for it every day and sharing it amongst ourselves. So appreciate it, everything.
Fantastic. All right, Paul, thank you. All right, everyone out there in Facebook land, you have a great evening. And that concludes our broadcast.